Engineers, presented by Sriram. And the topic for the day is B&W Manoeuvring System. In this video, we will see the maneuvering system activities on a two-stroke cross-seat reversible main diesel engine of MAN B&W SMC type. The various components of a maneuvering system are indicated in blocks so that it will be easy to understand. In the control room we have telegraph with which we can give ahead and astern movement for the main engine, and there are set of remote control valves which convey the signal from the control room telegraph to the individual valves on the main engine. We have safety devices, that is the interlocks. The major are 3 in number. One is turning gear interlock. When the turning gear is disengaged, the main engine can be started. If it is engaged, no starting air could be admitted to the engine. And the next is air fuel interlock. When the fuel is on for the main engine, no more air can be admitted into the engine. And the reversing interlock is the third one. Without the starting air distributor and the fuel pump roller reversing completely with the respective movement in the telegraph, no more air can be admitted for starting the engine. And after which we have the fuel pumps connected to the governor, and the governor has a feedback mechanism from the main shaft through which it can control the speed of the engine, with which we set in the telegraph. And the governor is also connected to the slowdown mechanisms, and the shutdown mechanism is connected to the puncture valve of the fuel pump, which is located here. We have the starting air distributor and the starting air valve for individual unit. The distributor is common for all the units, but the air starting valve is individual for every unit. Now let's see what happens when we start the engine. When I move the telegraph to start in ahead direction, the signal from the telegraph goes to the remote control valves, and the respective ahead valve is operated, and it gives signal to the distributor and fuel pump to adjust the timing in ahead direction. Thus, the air starting distributor adjusts its position to ahead direction, and the fuel pump roller shifts to the ahead direction. When these both happen, the signals will become green here, and the reversing interlock becomes OK. And when we disengage the turning gear interlock becomes OK. Thus, starting air can be admitted into the diesel engine. And since the engine is in stop position now, air can be admitted to the engine to start it. Let's see what happens when we start the engine. Now I'm going to put the starting lever in ahead direction. Let's see what happens. As I said earlier, when I issued a command start in ahead direction, the signal from the telegraph goes to the remote control valve, and the signal for the distributor and fuel pump is given for ahead direction. Thus, the starting air distributor and the fuel pump locates themselves for ahead direction, and both the timing becomes green, and then the signal goes to reversing interlock and it becomes OK. I have disengaged the turning gear. Let's see what happens when I start the engine. Now the signal comes through the interlocks, distributor engages, and air is admitted into the cylinder unit. Now the engine is started and the RPM is remaining at the same position, let's say dead slow ahead. Now I'm going to send the telegraph to Let's say dead slow, slow, half and full ahead. Let's see what happens to the governor and the feedback mechanism. Have a look at the RPM. That's it. The engine has reached full RPM, 70 over here. No more air is being admitted to the unit. You can see the fuel being fired. The air fuel interlock is out, which means you cannot give an air kick to the engine now, and the telegraph is full ahead. The governor is taken control of the speed. Now I'm going to stop the engine. When I issue a stop command, the speed reduces half, slow, dead slow, and then it comes to stop. Let's see what happens now. The RPM starts to fall. The stop signal goes to the puncture valve upon the fuel pump and then opens the puncture valve, which means no more fuel can be injected into the engine. Thank you for watching the videos. For more videos, log on to dieselship.com.